Check.
We are live.
What up, Kade, Harvey?
What's up, dude?
Oh, nothing much. Just nothing much. I'm starving. You just shattered my entire universe by telling me that In-N-Out has a secret menu.
The only man on the face of the planet that doesn't know that In-N-Out has a secret menu.
24 years, and nobody told me about this. I'm surrounded by enemies.
You're the kind of guy that would like abuse the menu. Like you would.
Oh, I'm gonna abuse the shit out of it.
Yeah, like you're the guy that needs to see it.
Yeah. First off, how come nobody even told me that like a quadruple meat burger exists? When did we create this? I thought maybe humankind just thought like a triple cheeseburger was like the maximum, but In-N-Out stays pushing the limits. I can't wait to see what they do.
Well, the 4 patty is a secret, so.
It was to me. Didn't know that kind of burger existed. I thought the only way that burger could ever exist is if I created it myself.
I want to say I'm sorry for my voice. I don't know what's going on. I'm just losing it.
You sound like somebody's just grabbing you by the balls and isn't letting go.
Yeah, it's not good. Hasn't been good for the past like 2 days. No idea why. It's just weak, soft, timid. I try to talk loud. It doesn't go loud. I don't know.
Pretty weak voice considering the movie we are about to go review.
Kind of sucks. Good episode, but voice ain't that great.
It's not that bad. Like honestly, if you hadn't said anything,
it goes in and out of being good and bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We are seeing Oppenheimer, or should I say, we are seeing.
No, that's after.
You could have just done it. We could do it multiple times.
Just throughout the episode.
Yeah. After we watch the movie,
we just watched.
Okay, yeah, I won't ruin it now. We're seeing Oppenheimer. I guess there's another movie that a lot of people are seeing. It's that Barbie shit.
Next episode.
Just kidding. We're watching that next episode, but people really wondered like which one of y'all gonna watch first. Fucking Oppenheimer, obviously. I'm a grown ass man, Kade. I'm seeing the movie about atom bombs over that one play doll that I didn't even play with. Okay, maybe once or twice.
Couple times.
Chris Nolan. To admit it.
Chris Nolan movie, so it should be pretty legit. He's one of the best filmmakers alive.
Great director. He can take a movie in a bunch of different directions. But I'm really excited. In fact, I just watched The Dark Knight 2 nights ago for the 15-year anniversary.
Really?
Mind-blowing.
Wow.
15 years. Which does make sense because I remember seeing The Dark Knight in theaters and afterwards, because I was a little kid. Not good at math, so I'm not even going to attempt to see how old I was. But damn it, I'm doing it anyways. I was a little kid, and after the movie, my mom genuinely was like nervous that like I wouldn't be able to go to sleep because I'd have nightmares because of Heath Ledger's Joker like actually being pretty scary.
He was the best villain probably ever created.
The best villain we've ever seen on screen was in that movie, I'd say. Heath Ledger's Joker, legendary. Rest in peace.
I wonder if this movie is going to be historical or if it's going to be Chris Nolan.
No, I saw some interview with Matt Damon, and he pretty much says that the whole movie is through his point of view. Like the scientist that creates the bomb. It's all through his point of view in a sense. And so Matt Damon was pretty much describing that like all like, cause it's a pretty stacked cast, but like all the actors that came on board, like I guess Christopher Nolan told them like, hey, like you are supporting Cillian Murphy's his character. Like you're all supporting him. You just have to like get over that. And so it's going to be interesting because I don't think we've ever seen Christopher Nolan take a movie in that kind of direction.
It'll be cool. I think his name is Robert Oppenheimer. That's the guy that made the bomb.
Right. Yeah.
I was looking up, stuff about him before this, and he was bullied as a kid. He was a little weird. Obviously, you have to be weird to, get in that industry to where you're fucking trying to make bombs.
Yeah.
But
being weird and being bullied, it would make sense that he got into the bomb making business.
The reason why he did that, or created the atomic bomb, is because he had no friends but physics. He said, "I have no friends. I don't need friends. I just need physics." And he was just like so destined to create this thing that can just destroy a world, and he did.
The destroyer of worlds. I am become death.
I am become death, destroyer of worlds, or something like that.
Yeah, I just know he says it a little weird, but it must be the right way to say it because this guy's pretty wicked smart.
It's a line from some philosopher, some saying from a religion or philosophy or something like that.
Damn, and now it's his. Yeah, really excited for this movie. It's about to be a packed theater, so this will be fun.
Honestly, when I bought it what, a few days ago?
I don't know.
This week?
I don't know when you bought the tickets.
And
you bought them this week?
Yeah, I texted you.
Huh.
Thanks for reading my message.
I'm a busy guy.
Are you?
I do a lot of reading.
Do a lot of sitting around. I got a lot of drinking on my mind.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Not my mind, on my plate.
There's a lot going on. Well, what? Were there
This
like
theater,
a
yeah.
lot of available seats when you were buying the tickets?
Not a lot, but more than normal, or more than I thought.
We'll see.
Honestly, so
there might be some last second ticket snatchers. It should be pretty packed though. I mean, this is arguably the most anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Nolan movie is already going to be high up in the charts of wanting to watch it.
Yeah.
God, my voice is killing me, dude.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll just get a couple shots of whiskey in you and we'll be all right.
You think that'll help?
Yes. And I think the Freddy's Burgers are going to help as well.
Hopefully.
I'm getting a triple. I just decided I'm going to get a triple cheeseburger.
What I was saying is...
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Nolan, it's already going to be a highly anticipated movie. And then it's about Oppenheimer, the bombs. That's a pretty big topic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of bound to be a hit. The question is, does it flop?
Right. I was about to say, it might not be a hit. This movie might suck. And I'm going to go into it with as open of a mind as I possibly can. It's just really fucking hard because I've been looking forward to this movie for a long time now.
The only way it could suck is if it was boring.
It could be boring. I'm worried. I'm a little worried. But I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
I wonder if you'll watch...
Hungry.
I wonder if you'll see like World War II and it'll talk about them dropping it. They have to, right? They have to show him. Is it just about him making it, or is it about him making it and then it being used?
We'll see. I mean, nobody's seen it. I have no idea where he's about to take this movie.
Opening night. Damn.
Opening night. Yeah. You know what? I can't remember the last time I've actually like done this.
Oh, it's a feature documentary exploring how one man's brilliance, hubris, and relentless drive changed the nature of war forever, led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people, and unleashed mass hysteria, and how, subsequently, the same man attempts to Yeah, period. Like, that's literally what it says. Look at the bottom.
It probably means cope.
I guess, yeah.
But anyways.
Okay, so it'll be a Christopher Nolan where it jumps in time, probably, where it skips to, like, the cause of, like, this one man, how he caused this just huge significance over the world. Like, he impacted the world truly in multiple different ways, in a lot of negative ways, like emotionally. There are positives to like the outcomes of the bomb going off, and because I've learned on the car ride to the apartment today, I was watching a video about Oppenheimer and the bombs, and we didn't really get taught why we dropped the bombs. Do you know why we dropped the bomb on Japan?
Hiroshima?
Yeah.
I thought it was Pearl Harbor.
No, that's why we got into the war. But we dropped the bombs on Japan because they would not surrender. They were ruthless. They were doing horrible things, in the war. Like they were supporting Hitler because they did some of the same things. They were out there just fucking killing people, giving people the bubonic plague, doing these like scientific tests, how the Nazis were doing on the Jewish people, like making them suffer, doing surgeries just to test the human body to see what it's capable of withstanding. They were doing that. They didn't like the idea of being surrender to a foreign country. They're like, no, we're not ever going to do that. We're going to fight to the death, or, we're not going to surrender. We're going to fight to the death. And so they had a choice. U.S. could either go in with all their military power to infiltrate Japan and fight, and they realized they wouldn't just be fighting the soldiers like normal. They would have to fight the civilians, the women, the kids. Like, they had to kill everybody, which would cause a lot of deaths in the U.S. side. And they also, some intelligence agencies found out that Japan had a bioweapon that they were going to launch in California. Like, they were going to shoot fleas over to give the U.S. the bubonic plague, which would have just killed, millions of people in the U.S.
Damn, no, I never heard of that.
And so the U.S. is like, well, shit, do we want to eat? No matter what happens, no matter what decision we make, if we're going to drop the bomb or not, there's going to be a lot of deaths. But the quickest death and the quickest way to end this war is to show Japan, listen, we will destroy you, so surrender. They said no. They sent him a letter, said, hey, we're going to drop the bombs on you, surrender. Japan said nothing in return. They might have sent a letter, but they didn't say they're going to surrender. So they're like, all right, drop the bomb, little boy. 3 days passed, and they didn't surrender. They're like, are you serious? They're like, we're about to drop a second one on you. They're like, all right, go ahead. Boom! And then they finally were like, fuck, dude, that bomb was fucking huge. Like, because they were going to say, we're going to destroy your entire country. I think Hiroshima and Nagasaki are 2 islands of Japan. So they didn't drop on the mainland. They dropped on these 2 islands, just obliterated them. Those islands are no more. And they had a strong military presence too. And then that's when they surrendered.
Fuck.
It was an emperor. That's when Japan was ran by an emperor.
War.
So I didn't know that. I didn't know that Japan was that ruthless. I didn't know that Japan was going to drop a bubonic plague on the U.S., and I didn't know they would refuse to surrender, despite the U.S. was like, listen, we're going to drop a nuke on you. But the thing is, back then, they didn't know what a nuke was. They didn't know the power. It's the first time they've ever dropped one. They're like, go ahead, fucking drop a bomb. We don't give a fuck. Like, we can take a bomb. And it was a nuke. And the U.S. didn't even know about radiation because they would, after the bomb was dropped, the U.S. sent soldiers out there to go, like, guard where the bomb was. Like, sending them into a radiation zone, not understanding the complexities of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know that. But so you think about the atomic bomb being a horrible thing, but really there's like kind of no choice but to do that.
Yeah.
And it would have been dropped at some point by somebody, because if you don't understand the capacity of it, you're gonna fucking. What time is it? Oh,
it's about that time.
If you drop it, you're not gonna understand unless you drop it, you're not gonna see the impact it's gonna have. So you somebody had to, I guess.
I'm curious to see. Apparently Chris Nolan was like actually dropping bombs for this movie too. So very curious to see what that's going to look like on the big screen.
I wish there was an IMAX near us. Go see this bad boy in IMAX.
3D.
Ooh. All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just fucking shakes the seats, melts your face off.
Yeah. Oh wait, the theater actually just blew up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, let's go watch this bad boy. But
let's
go get a Freddy's triple cheeseburger.
And a whiskey shot.
Oh yeah, that too.
Cross your fingers, maybe my voice will come back after the movie. It'll fucking shock my voice back into my body.
Oh, maybe. Bye.
And we're back.
What a journey.
We just watched Oppenheimer. What'd you like about it?
I kind of like the mystery of the plot. I didn't quite understand at first what they were getting at. Part of that is definitely my fault. Like I probably should have done like a little bit of research before we went and saw this movie. Like I had no idea that Oppenheimer was suspected of being like a communist.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
But you got to think about that, like especially during that time, because like I think they were about to somewhat be kind of on the brink of like a Cold War.
Well,
like it must have been terrifying for the American people to find out, or it must have been terrifying for the American people to maybe believe that the creator of the atomic bomb might have been like a spy
working
of
for the
some
next
sort.
U.S. enemy.
Yeah.
You know?
or at least just had ties or something. Like, even if he wasn't necessarily involved, like, directly, like, maybe if he just knew some people, which I'm sure that was, like, a bigger concern. But yeah, no, it was pretty interesting. Like, I didn't know any of that. I just thought he was a guy that made a bomb, and I kind of thought that was it.
Yeah, I thought he was a crazy guy that kind of, I didn't realize just how his story was. I just didn't know his story, to be honest with you.
I didn't know he was homies with Albert like that.
Yeah, you don't think about Albert. You never hear about Albert with people. It's just kind of just him.
Albert as in Einstein.
Albert Einstein. But
in this movie
the movie was good. The movie was fucking good.
The movie was fucking good. Like I said, right before we sat down, we already knew that it was a star-studded cast, but I mean, damn, I didn't know Josh from Drake and Josh was going to be in this movie. Yeah. I mean, damn, he pressed the button.
Josh from Drake and Josh pressed the button.
He set off the first bomb. Who would have thought?
How scary would that be? There's a small chance, a very, very small chance that you just destroy the world with this one test. And you just press the button to see what happens. Yeah.
They can say, damn near 0% all they want. I'm kind of with Matt Damon's character. He's like, just you can't tell me it's just 0%. And he was like, well, no.
Here we go. Oh. Dog intrusion. Oh, there it is.
I saw that coming.
There it is. Lady, I looked at that door and I was like, we should probably shut that door.
Damn.
I walked in and I was like,
oh, you don't even feel bad.
All right, we're pause for a quick second.
Yep.
Okay, now we're down to one light.
Shout out, lady.
Went to go fix the light and it was broken from the wall plug. So
yeah, very adorable dog, but doesn't really have much of a guilty conscience.
No, she doesn't, and she's pretty clumsy.
A little bit.
Pretty clumsy.
A little bit. Well, she's just too fast. But anyways, the whole testing bomb, it's near 0% chance that it could actually destroy the world. But, there's still a little bit of a chance. Like, damn, I've never done anything that catastrophic.
Yeah, I do wonder if that's real. Or what's the chance? I know we read it before in the theater, but I wonder what's the chance that it can... Because so, for y'all listening, explain what would happen if the atomic bomb... What's the small chance that happens if the atomic bomb goes off?
There's a chance that it could pretty much ignite the atmosphere by having like too high of a temperature.
Because the way the bomb works is it explodes and it splits an atom, and that atom splits other atoms, and it's a chain reaction that'll then make that giant explosion that we all know about.
Yeah.
And there's a small chance that chain reaction doesn't stop and just spreads throughout the entire atmosphere, and that's how it destroys the world. And the thought is maybe if we go to a nuclear war where there are a bunch being lit at one time.
Yeah, it's probably not just near 0% chance.
Imagine if you
probably getting up there.
Yeah, if you go like one in New York, one near, like next to it.
Yeah.
Around the U.S., just explosion.
Yeah, no, that'd probably destroy the world.
The one thing I liked the anxiety you felt before the test. Then I felt that the climax of that test wasn't as like I don't know, didn't hit as hard as I thought it was going to hit.
I kind of agree. Yeah, I liked the silence and everything, and I thought we were going to see a bigger explosion.
Yeah, you didn't feel how insane that explosion was.
Yeah, one thing, aside from like the world potentially being ended from a test run, the other thing that I was like, if I were in that situation, like if I was about to watch the first testing of an atomic bomb, like, dude, I would probably be tripping so hard about like, wait, are we far enough away?
Yeah, basically. That's what I mean.
Like, they don't really know. This is a test run. They don't know how big this really can be.
They've
Like,
only done the math equations and said, okay, it probably will go this far.
Well, they did like smaller explosions and stuff.
But
But
that
the
was,
thing
that was
is
just to make sure the igniter would work.
Yeah.
That was all it is.
But then I'm also like you were saying, talking about it's a chain reaction. Like, or that thing just keeps going. Like, and so that one guy, like, he put a bunch of sunblock all over himself. Like, he was prepared, but I was like, that's not gonna save you if that explosion just keeps coming. Like,
yeah, that climax scene, it didn't seem like they were far enough away, and the explosion didn't seem big. And like, the explosion was a big explosion, but it didn't feel like a nuke.
yes, but it was real.
That's probably why.
So, we did like actually just watch a bomb go off. So, I mean, that was cool.
I wonder if he like mimicked. You think he did like tons of TNT, like they said, or
I don't think Christopher Nolan actually activated an atomic bomb.
obviously not. But like, do you think he did the equal amount of TNT that a nuke would be?
I mean, I'm sure he damn near tried. It's a cool explosion. It was. I mean, I thought they did pretty good, like with what they could. You know
how they talk about how a nuclear bomb, when it explodes, it just destroys everything within like miles, like
Mhm.
instant destruction within miles. Is that just with the new nukes we have? Like, were the old nukes back then not as powerful as what we have now?
No, they wrecked Hiroshima.
I know that, but the test run they did didn't seem like that bomb would just obliterate everything within miles.
Maybe they made it bigger for Hiroshima. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
maybe the
on
test
that.
run was like half of the.
Maybe. I don't know, but I liked it, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. I was expecting more, but I think that's just our fault. We expected
Well, I
too much.
I like how he wrote it once the bomb test run goes off. The U.S. government comes in, and is like, all right, sweet, thanks, and they take them. And they're like, wait, do you know what these are gonna do though? Like, do you understand what these powers? Yeah, we got it. Just, you don't worry about it. And then the edits very quickly popped into them dropping it.
Yeah.
Very quickly, he lost control of that.
Yeah.
It's
Like he
immense
made the
power.
bomb and then they just took it from him and then they went and dropped it. The other thing from the bomb, like when they actually did drop it for the test run, I was kind of hoping that one guy was like sitting in his car watching it. I was really expecting the windshield to break. I thought that would, that was kind of a letdown.
The description of this movie said that it was a documentary. Obviously, it's not a real documentary, but I wonder if he went like real life. This happened. That's why he had to tell it in the, he had to tell it in that non-linear way. I know that Christopher Nolan's known for not doing his movies non-linear. That's one of his main styles. He's always jumping back and forth with timelines. But
yeah,
I wonder how accurate did he make this movie? Like how, like, is it 90%, 80%, 60%? What did he add?
Yeah, I mean,
because if he was writing the movie, maybe he would make the windshield crack. But if he's trying to be as accurate as possible and the windshield didn't crack and that scene like happened as it was shot in real life, maybe. So I wonder if that's just accuracy.
Yeah, maybe when he was shooting it and they actually dropped the bomb, like maybe Christopher Nolan was hoping that it would crack too. But
Yeah.
since it didn't, he was like, well, it didn't. So we can't lie to our audience. Another thing about this movie is that, like we said, we were excited for like the star-studded cast, but there's just way more like random actors in this, like big time actors.
Yeah, this goes up with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
They just
big actors just showing
just
up out of
coming
nowhere.
up out of nowhere.
Like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah, like oh my god, it's Ben Affleck's brother. What's his name?
Matt Damon.
What? No,
That's not his brother, but
like
wait,
his actual
literal brother?
Yeah, who's an actor.
I don't know. He had a brother.
Yeah. It's fucking. Anyways, he plays the character of. He's like right below Matt Damon's character, and he's the one talking about like, he would take somebody out in the middle of like a lake and do like Russian torture or something.
That general that was overseeing this. He was supposed to be overseeing it without actually being there, or the guy seeing
He was
him?
the head of security.
The general.
Yeah, he was the security for the testing.
I didn't know
and
that's
stuff.
Ben Affleck's brother.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
I think it's like Josh
Affleck. Let's see.
I don't think. Actually, I don't think it's Josh.
I'm looking. He's low on the
Maybe it starts with a C.
on the list here. Casey
Affleck. Yeah. But he is like he's been in a lot of big movies. I mean, he's a well-known actor. Then there's the other guy, the weird scientist that kind of like comes in at the end. And he kind of takes out Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
Oh, Raimi something.
Yeah, big. I mean, good actor, like
Yeah.
really good. But I mean, he's like he
Freddie
gets
Mercury?
big roles.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, like he gets big roles, and like this was a very minor role for somebody of like his caliber. There's
There's a bunch.
a good amount.
There's a scene in there that there's a scene in there where the shots really showed what the scientist kind of felt like in that time.
Yeah,
How it was kind of like they didn't have a choice necessarily. Like it was so much bigger than them making this bomb, and the effects of it and everything about it. Whenever one of the Jewish scientists, he was saying like, yeah, no, I can't do this. I'm not gonna join this program. It was like, I don't want to have this be a part of my life. I don't want to be a part of this creation, of this destruction. And he's like, well, listen, the Nazis are on it. The Russians are on it. They're going to be building this. We have to first. Like, it's inevitable that this bomb is going to happen, and it's, we don't really have a choice.
yeah,
And as he's saying that, the camera is like panning up, looking down on him, just showing like, yeah, like this is a lot more powerful than you.
yeah,
You don't really have a choice in this matter.
yeah. No, Cillian Murphy's character Oppenheimer like says, "I don't know what my country would do with this kind of power, but I do know what the Nazis would do."
Yeah.
I was like, well, damn right. Yeah, I mean, that would be really bad. Think about Hitler with an atomic bomb.
Not
Damn.
good. Not good.
Damn. I don't think we're doing this podcast
No.
if Hitler got that atomic bomb first.
Yeah, dude. That's what's scary is that thank God we got it.
Yeah. I guess
Like
so.
literally like
Could have been really bad.
like Cillian Murphy said at the end, he's like,
Is it Cillian Murphy or Cillian Murphy?
I've always said
thought
Cillian.
I always thought it was Cillian, but then I think we heard Braden Scott yesterday like talking about, and they just kept saying Cillian Murphy. And I'm not gonna lie, I fell under the peer pressure. I was like, damn, maybe I've been saying it wrong this entire time.
I think it's Cillian. That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, Cillian just doesn't even sound right.
They're tripping, bro.
I think they're fucking with us. That's what I think.
At the end when he, it comes back to that scene when he was talking to Albert Einstein, and he told Albert Einstein that I think I already have destroyed the world.
Yeah. He was
Because
like, remember when I was telling you that I was worried that what we're doing might set a reaction of all this? And Albert was like, yeah. He's like, oh, God damn it, Albert, I was right.
You think about it like today, Russia's talking about nukes or moving missiles around, and
Everybody's got the nukes now.
Everybody's got nukes. It's just like, that chain reaction could be either one bomb chain reactioning or one bomb chain reactioning a bunch of other bombs that blow up.
It's scary. It is scary to think about that, but it's also just like, damn.
It is scary, but it's so much out of your control that it's like,
exactly.
You can't even think about like, what are you gonna do? Literally, what are you gonna do?
It'll be a pretty wild day when somebody actually like launches the first nuke, because then it's like, damn it, like, all right, this is it. Because we
pop the bottles.
We know we're about to send like 10, and then they're gonna send 10 more, and then for some reason like Russia's gonna be like, well, fuck it, we'll get in on this, and it's just gonna be. Hopefully it never happens.
Hopefully it never happens. Okay, if that did happen, would you want to have the bomb hit your city so you just are dead immediately?
Yeah, I don't want the radiation.
Or do you want to try to survive it and have it be like you live in a rural spot, maybe
like at a post-apocalyptic world?
Like let's say it hit everything but Texas. It's like just that's where we live. So let's say it didn't hit Texas and there was no really radiation, but it was definitely the aftermath of it all. Would you want to try to survive the aftermath?
I mean, I'll try, but I mean, there's probably a lot of radiation, and I don't know. I remember I watched this docuseries or not even docuseries, but it was about Chernobyl, and like I remember the first or second episode. I think it was first. Like all the people that were like 2 miles away from the radiation, like shitty deaths. Like in a hospital bed, like skin is just rotting off of them, like while they're still alive. So if it was between that, and I think that is like the more realistic case, I don't think I'm going to be like coming out from.
But let's say you're not in a spot where radiation is going to get you. Maybe
if it hit everywhere but Texas.
I don't mean that. I mean, maybe it hit a couple places in the U.S., hit other places in the world, but like you're clear of disaster zones.
Then yeah, fuck it. I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'm probably not going to leave Texas.
Because, you don't want to leave where you're at. Because, one side you get a quick, easy death where you're like, don't got to worry about any of the struggle. Or you can be a part of the humans that keep humanity alive.
Yeah, like, I'll go for that. But
start a new religion.
No.
Just go primal. Create your own government.
No, probably not. Not even government. I'll come up with the system of like, hey, we don't all necessarily have to work, but we're gonna we got to stick together as a team.
That's when you really got to start living off the land.
Oh yeah,
going back to that.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I definitely go find some cows. That's first step. Go find some cows, and then, go find some water. Then go find some cows.
Yeah, you gotta get
just back to the basics. I'm probably gonna have to give up the podcast, and that's gonna suck.
No, we'll keep it alive during the apocalypse. We won't have mics, obviously, because there'll be no technology, but we will be on the front of the church steps. Oh, that's what our new religion is this podcast.
Crown is taken over.
We talk about old movies just from recollection, from memory. Our podcast turns into us standing in front of a crowd of people reciting movies from memory.
Yeah.
All right, and then
this is just
wait.
Yeah, this is just borderline blasphemy, and I'm so for it. No, yeah, okay. If I don't have to die from radiation shit, then I would love to take care of the world after it just got nuked. I'll be that guy.
We're safe in the hands of Gray.
Yeah, I'll be that guy. I'll take care of y'all, but I'm probably not going to leave Texas. Like I said, I'm going to go find a body of water I can drink from. Hopefully it doesn't have radiation in it. That might pose as a challenge. And then I'm just going to go get some cows. Hopefully they're just nice, normal cows. Hopefully the radiation hasn't made them like grow like more heads or more spots.
All right, back to Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, that movie. Who else? Who else was in this movie?
Iron Man's in it. You got Cillian Murphy, obviously. You got there's a lot of like famous actors that you know, but you don't. They're not like A-listers.
Exactly.
They're like a lot of well-known actors in it.
You've seen them in big movies, or even if you haven't seen the big movies, I know you've heard of them. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I mean that one guy. It's Freddie Mercury. Mm-hmm. Forever.
I think this movie does a good job because it's very sciencey. There's a lot of it's about physics. Okay, so physics is a little boring if you don't know what the intricacies of it are, but it keeps you so engaged because you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. With
Cillian Murphy's character, Robert Oppenheimer. He's getting questioned about something. You're not really sure what that is in the beginning of the movie. There's flashbacks. There's a black and white scene. You aren't sure really what's going on.
Yeah. Again, that's the Christopher Nolan.
And that kind of mimics Oppenheimer's idea. He's like, he doesn't know really why this stuff's happening because it's all kind of happening out of his control. So kind of like him, kind of like we're viewing it kind of like him where we don't really know. We're catching up.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the way that he told the story, especially for me, because obviously this is one of the most like important human beings that's ever been put on the planet. But it is surprising just for me. I was like, damn, like I said at the very beginning, I did not know about any of this. I thought he was just the guy that made the bomb. And then, yeah, he probably kind of felt like shit after the stuff that we used it for. But, like, you know, maybe he just went back to his quiet life. Did not know that this guy cheated on his wife.
He was a womanizer, they said.
He was a womanizer. I mean, that dude was getting after her. I mean, we saw titties within, like, an hour. I mean, it was quick.
There's a physicist. His name is Eric Weinstein.
Weinstein?
No, it's Weinstein.
It's Weinstein?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've heard him say it. That's why I know for sure it's Weinstein.
Einstein.
So Eric Weinstein's talking about how, maybe it's not Eric, there's two brothers.
Okay.
One of them is a physicist. He was talking about how it is true that right now in the science world, people, they're very egotistic. They don't really like people that have opposing opinions. If you're not with their mainstream idea, they kind of cast you out of that system.
Mm-hmm.
And that really showed in kind of the start of that, it seemed like, because he also mentioned how back then, you can kind of see it now, they had cowboy science where they just threw people together and said, make whatever you want. Like, just do it. Figure it out. Like, we need to figure some shit out. Go figure it out. You saw that here. A lot of the scientists were just kind of thrown together. Some guys were talking about H-bombs and they weren't even trying to do that. And he's like, look, just do that. Stay here. Just start working on it. It's okay.
Yeah.
But now it's a little bit more structured. There's a little bit more ego and they shut you down a little bit easier. And you kind of saw the birth of that through this movie, of this limitation on these scientists and you know, the ego is involved. But which is funny because they talk about Oppenheimer's ego, but he didn't. There's no really scenes of him talking about his ego. Like, he never seemed egotistical.
Well, kind of. I mean,
some yes, but there wasn't like it didn't seem like he wrote that into the theme of the movie.
No, I think because it's tough for Oppenheimer. Like, whenever he does, like, think about when he had just, like, the test was a success. And then they just bombed Hiroshima. Deep down, Oppenheimer feels like shit for that. Like, he knows he has blood on his hands, but he still gets lost in, like, the love that everybody's showing him. Like, he gives the speech in the gym, and there's, like, girls crying. There's, like, people having sex under the bleachers because, like, it's just a big party.
But you can tell in that scene that he was just doing that because he felt like he had to.
Exactly. But it's still on the outside. People that don't know what he's thinking, they're like, oh, this dude, like, he feels like he's the shit because he just made the bomb, which is, you know, that makes sense why he would, but I don't know.
That was a really cool scene to show his thought process in his head without you hearing his thoughts, because you see the shaking of a couple times. He got a flashback of the environment he's in turns into the test site where he sees the bomb again. Yeah. The room shakes for him. The room's not shaking, but in his head, the room is shaking. He can hear the bomb. Everything is tuned out. And he kind of, in that scene when he's giving a speech in the gym, he blacks out. Like, he just all of a sudden, like, cuts back into him. People are cheering him as he's walking out. He's like, he didn't even remember that because it's just, he wasn't thinking. He was just word vomiting and kind of, pandering to the audience. That's all he was doing, just pandering. He wasn't, like, actually feeling the thoughts he was saying.
But I think there's different ways to interpret that specific scene. Like, sure, he could have been thinking, like, damn, like, I just created a bomb that could kill all of you people. Or he was thinking, like, they could have been dropping the bomb on us if we hadn't won the race.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I think all those things were going through his head.
Yeah.
He's just struggling with it, where he's just kind of
the reality is the bomb exists now. Like, it was a theory like a few years ago, but now it's real. We made it. We just killed like thousands of people. Like, it can be used.
Yeah, it's kind of like, when does the science go too far?
Yeah. Like,
it was a cool theory. Is it possible? Maybe. Let's try it out. And then it becomes possible. And then it becomes real. And you're like, and then we use it. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Because at the beginning, his whole thing, like, especially like in his classrooms, like, it was all just theories, you know, quantum physics theories. Like, he was just trying to figure out what happens when a star explodes.
Yeah. He couldn't even do the science.
Yeah.
He didn't know. Math wasn't that good, he said.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to build anything. He was horrible in a lab. But he has the mind. He can see the visions.
Yeah. Pretty nuts. Let's see. There's a good amount of jump scares in this movie. especially just seeing that movie in theaters. Obviously, it's a movie about an atomic bomb being built, so Christopher Nolan just thought it would be on theme to just at random moments just
and just blast music, blast sound, not music, blast sound in your ears.
yeah, just blast like an insanely loud explosion of some sorts.
I really think this movie is best watched in the theater. Probably. I don't know if it would give you the best. I don't know if it would be that good like it was that we just watched if it was at home. On a smaller TV with not a good sound, just kind of on a couch with a lot of distractions.
Because I mean, like when shit was rattling in this movie, like when the ground is shaking, all that, like you feel it in the theater, and like it just felt a lot more real, and you definitely like kind of understood not the full magnitude of what was going on, but like you definitely had a sense of it.
I'm excited to watch it again because I'm sure there's stuff you missed in the beginning because they're just kind of info dumping you and you're like trying to catch along. You're trying to pay attention and be like,
but it
what
does
is going
click
on?
at the end, or at least it did for me.
No, yeah.
But it took I think I pretty much figured out what was going on with like 30 minutes left in the movie. I think.
It starts to unfold. You start to realize, okay, he's on trial for treason.
But that made it so much better. I was like, oh shit, like that's what's been going on this whole time.
And then it was cool too because those black and white scenes, maybe it was something else, but I do know that some of those black and white scenes they turned to color because they became present time.
Yeah.
But then there were some scenes that were flashbacks that weren't present time too.
Yeah, I didn't quite. I wasn't able to really keep up with the theme of what he was going for with the black and white, because you are right, there were definitely some that started out black and white and then they went into color. So okay.
I should go back. We need to go back and rewatch it, but maybe a common correlation with the black and white was Strauss. It ended on his last scene. It was black and white when it came out, and then he never was in another scene.
Yeah,
except for the one when Albert Einstein walked past him, which was in the beginning. But maybe it had something to do with what was that guy's name? Strauss, something.
Yeah, I don't know his first name. I just remember Strauss.
Yeah, I don't remember his first. Louis Strauss. Maybe it had something to do with him with his hand and everything. Maybe he was infecting those scenes or something, or maybe that was the symbolism there with the black and white was Louis Strauss was getting in there.
Yeah, I will definitely, when I do watch it again for a second time, like I think it's just going to make a lot more sense just because, I mean, I have an understanding of what the movie's going for. So yeah, I mean, we'll probably see a lot of things that'll just click a lot more or a lot better.
He does such a good job with his music. He did the same. That
music is so fucking intense.
He does the same tactics. He's done it a few times, but he's done it in Interstellar. He's done it in Dunkirk, and I believe he did it here. It's this technique where he layers these instruments where one is going up in tempo and the second instrument's going down in tempo, and then one's going up and one's going down. So you constantly hear it go down and up. You can't differentiate between it, so it feels like it's always building. It just keeps getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. That's why you get so anxious, because you can't. It's staying the same speed, but it feels like it's getting faster. So you're like kind of getting anxious. You're like, dude, it keeps building. Like it's been building for fucking 5 minutes, bro. When is the beat gonna hit?
I swear. Yeah, he does that a few times this movie, but it's always like at the perfect time.
Yeah, that last scene when that music built and then they press the button and the bomb detonates and it's silence. I'm like, yes, that's perfect. But then I want to see just like, like insane. I want to see some insane power of that bomb.
I wanted to see the window break. I really
window
did.
break. I want to see people fall down. I wanted to see like that, sonic wave of just the power, like the after wind or whatever it is, like the carrying out of the bomb.
I wanted to see the guy with the sunscreen and his sunglasses on. He was sitting in like a lawn chair. I wanted to see him like get blown back.
I didn't wanted to see it in slow motion. Then I wanted to see it in real action, where it's just like immense power immediately.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted to see that power just to show people that a nuclear bomb is. We all know how insane it is, but if you could represent that in this movie, show us like how powerful it is. I want to see some destruction.
I kind of wanted to see the Hiroshima bomb.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Maybe not like actually see it, but like I just wanted to see like what it potentially could have looked like. when they actually drop the bomb on the city. Like, destroys a city.
Dude, could you imagine
It's just hard to imagine
living in Japan and you're like, wait, what? Hiroshima just got nuked? What's a nuke?
Yeah.
Wait, the city's gone?
Yeah.
How big was the bomb?
Yeah.
You're like, dude, like,
The only reason I say like I kind of wanted to see something like that was because when you show a bomb exploding in the desert, it's not really destroying anything. It's just blowing up.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really see like the mass destruction it's capable of. Like, you
Yeah.
can see how big the explosion is. Sure, you can see the flames like expanding and like it's on fire for like a good bit, but I don't know, like, throw a skyscraper in there.
well, the thing they
Like-
used to do those Nuketowns. Remember Nuketown from Call of Duty?
Yeah.
I think they used to do those.
Well,
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
no, I think they did it after that
Right.
to actually like illustrate, but like, damn, dude, like I kind of wanted to see like maybe a little building, maybe like, I don't know, half a mile away from the explosion,
Yeah. I
like
wanna-
see
yeah.
how fast it like obliterates, you know?
That's what I'm saying. I just want to see that power a little bit more.
Exactly. Yeah.
You saw the explosion, and I'm sure it's cool to film the real explosion, and that's cool and all, but you don't feel it in the theaters. It was probably badass on set.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, remember that? And Christopher Nolan's picking out the shots. He's like, dude, that looks so badass.
Yeah.
But when you watch it back and feel it, you don't. And plus, it's in silence. You're watching the flames go up in silence.
I like the silence, especially because I knew that Big Bang was going to come eventually.
Yeah.
And it still got me.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, after the initial explosion, Christopher Nolan pretty much just, the whole movie just goes completely silent. And you just see, like, the flames, you see the light, you see everybody's reactions, like, blah, blah, blah. But you know that there's just going to be this huge thunder boom come out of nowhere. But Christopher Nolan keeps the movie silent for, like, probably well over a minute.
Yeah. It was a long time.
And then you kind of forget that there's like this big sound coming, or at least I did. And then it just hits. And I was like, fuck, like, damn it. Like, I knew that was coming, and it still got me. But again, that happens quite a few times in this movie.
It's the movie kind of showed too at the end just the nastiness of politics and how it just works.
Of
and
course,
just
yeah.
the corruption and how it's just a game of playing people and to get things done. It's pretty wild that these corrupt people that really don't have any morals or ethics control the world.
Or the fact that Robert Downey Jr. essentially is trying to paint Oppenheimer as like this communist piece of shit.
He did
just because
the evidence was pretty shady against him. He was
yeah,
doing some
but
shady shit.
it was only because Oppenheimer like embarrassed him at this meeting from like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. Like,
oh,
I can't hold a grudge like that, you know.
Dude, I liked at the end of the movie when you cuz they mentioned JFK.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Louis Strauss, he eventually worked for the CIA.
Wait, really?
I would assume so. He's like, what's his name? Because the CIA killed Kennedy, obviously. Let's see. All right. U.S. Atomic Energy Commission. Businessman, philanthropist, naval officer. No, I don't see anything about the CIA. But you just know that because he was ruffling feathers. JFK was. That's why he got killed. Because he was trying to dismantle the CIA. He was talking, getting those politicians like kind of ruffling their feathers a little bit. Like Louis Strauss, he wanted to make a name for himself, wanted to make some movies. Like, yeah, I don't like what he did to that guy. I'm gonna vote him out. And he's like, what's his name? It's like John F. Kennedy. So you start to see, then that's when Kennedy started ruffling feathers and making noise in the political industry where these career politicians didn't like it.
Damn.
They ended up killing him.
Christopher Nolan's about to come out with the best John F. Kennedy movie.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
I think there is one coming out, or maybe there's a documentary that dropped or something.
They got a bunch of them. They got a bunch of documentaries.
Yeah, a bunch of documentaries on Kennedy.
Yeah.
That's such a crazy story. Because, with about 90% certainty, you could say the CIA killed him. Like, our government killed our president.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, you can say that.
You don't believe so?
I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, you got to look into it because it's pretty wild. There's so many
anything's possible.
sketchy stuff, and the story they have is not line up with anything that like the evidence shows. I don't know the details, so I can't really get into it, but I do know it's sketchy, and I have heard people talk about it on podcasts and such, and it, I believe they probably killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, there you go. Oppenheimer.
What do you rate it out of 10? Okay, so before Gray rates it, we have decided our scale, kind of.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, kind of. We're kind of trying to agree on our scale, but we've decided that 5 is average. The way that I've been grading movies is by thinking about the IMDb score in my head. So like really, I never go below a 5 because a 5 is a dog shit movie on IMDb. Yeah. But if Gray thinks movies it's a 5 is average, me and him aren't thinking the same. We're thinking the same, but our numbers do not line up at all. So we got to line up our numbers with what we think about a movie. So 5 is average, like it's like a basic movie that was like, yeah, that was cool. We were talking about how like maybe the later Transformer movies that are like entertaining, but were they good movies? No, not really. Were they well shot? I mean, yeah, kind of, but they were just kind of cookie cutter. Maybe like average average Marvel movies that are just cookie cutter. Probably 5s. And then as you get up to 10, 10's the best movie we've ever seen. So that's kind of our rating. That gives you a little bit of a judgment on how we're going to rate these movies. Mine will start to change probably.
All right. Wider. So with that being said, Mr. Scale, what do you rate it?
8.
All right. I was going to go 7.5.
Oh, damn. That was lower than I thought.
7.5. It was good. Honestly,
didn't you say it was like top 10 for you?
Huh?
Did you say it was... Oh, that was Mercedes. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie. It'll probably go up after I watch it the second time because I'm going to pick up on a lot more.
Yeah.
There's just it's a 3-hour movie. I have no idea what direction it's going to be taken in. I did love at the end, like, that he did make it click for me. For what, like, the whole movie, I'm pretty much just expecting it to be the journey of him, like, making the bomb. I did not know that this was the direction it was going in, so that definitely kind of just, like, threw me for a curve. But I was still, like, I was into it. Obviously, it was a good movie. I'm running on, like, maybe 4 hours of sleep right now. And it was a 3-hour movie. It's one of those movie theaters where the seats recline. And, I had water, I had some Reese's Pieces. If the movie sucked, I would have fallen asleep. But I didn't. I was on the edge of my seat. I was paying attention the entire movie. So, I mean, yeah, between 7.5 and 8.
They really kept you engaged with how quickly they would talk to each other.
Yeah.
Talking about information. And I think it served 2 purposes. I think it served first purpose of keeping you engaged. It was just like quick talking, like, hey, jumping back and forth, quick conversation. They knew what they were talking about because they're explaining a lot of shit, giving you a lot of exposition. And so you don't get bored out of it because it's kind of getting quickly in conversation. And the second purpose is because I think sometimes they showed the like geniuses getting each other. Like a lot of these brilliant minds just understanding each other very quickly. It's like, oh, okay, yes. And you hear them talk very quickly to each other because they have that same just high level IQ, high, thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that kept, that was a nice filmmaking thing he did with keeping it engaging and making you feel like these people are smart.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's tough with these kinds of movies too, just because it is a biopic. And we've never seen Christopher Nolan do anything like this before. So, I mean, it was new for him too.
Dunkirk, kind of.
Yeah, I guess.
That wasn't like a biopic, but
Oppenheimer is like literally, I mean, it's all centered around him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more about his life than I expected.
Yeah. So I could see this movie turning into, like, you know what? It's kind of tough, but like I remember seeing Interstellar for the first time in theaters, and I just didn't get it. Like I was a lot younger too, but like I remember leaving the theater, I was like, there were some like cool things about it, but then over the years, I've probably seen Interstellar like over 5 times now. Yeah. It's one of my favorite movies. So the score could go up with aging. I will watch it a second time. Probably not for a little bit. I gotta let this marinate. Like it's a 3-hour movie, so
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it again. It'll be good.
it'll be good. I'll pick up on a lot more. So I could definitely see the score like going up. So, but
Yeah.
7.5 for now, which is good. 7.5 is, don't take that as like a bad thing. Really, it's more like a 7.8. It's closer to an 8, but it's a good movie. You should see it.
Definitely go see it in theaters while it's out.
Yes,
It just came out.
Definitely got to see it in theaters.
It just came out, so you got time to
You
watch
gotta-
it fresh.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the jump scares.
Go to like a nice theater, sit down, and make a night out of it.
Yeah.
And enjoy this 3-hour journey of
Yeah.
a crazy story. And I'd also suggest, honestly, if you research it a little
Yeah.
bit too, like the history
That would
behind it.
definitely help.
Because like the Japan thing that I read about or listened to, that actually came true in the movie. Like they actually talked about the Japan thing and the,
Like how they're not going to give up.
yeah, then the decision behind it and the reason why they felt like they had to nuke them. And also the other side of the coin where it's like, yeah, but they were a lost cause. We know they were a lost cause, but they didn't know they were a lost cause. So it's like
Yeah.
we still bombed a country that was not going to win the war, but still they were going to keep fighting. And it's just kind of like, war's never good.
And also, they didn't tell them like what we had. They told them like we can do some serious damage to y'all, but they didn't literally say like we just built an atomic motherfucking bomb and we're gonna like destroy 2 of your cities. Like they didn't tell them that. They just said like, hey, you need to back off now. You need to surrender, or it could get bad. But Japan's probably like, well, fuck. I mean, you're saying that like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think I read a headline. I don't know if this is what they actually sent, but it said that Truman sent a letter to Japan that said that they will wreak total annihilation if they do not surrender.
Yeah.
And they said, cap.
Yeah.
And then-
they call it
And
cap.
then U.S. is like, no, I'm actually not
Wait,
kidding.
no. Like, no, literally, I know, like 3 years ago, we said, you've probably heard this just from other countries. Like, no, like, we're being dead ass.
Dude, that's pretty insane. Japan's calling your bluff, and you're not bluffing. And they call your second bluff, and you're like, dude, did you not see what I just did? I'm not joking. I'm going to do it again.
It wasn't just a one in the chamber type thing. Like, we have multiple of these.
But so I heard too, one of the reasons why the U.S. didn't drop off more than why they didn't do a test bombing, because they could have bombed a island near them that had no people on it. It was like, check this shit out. But they didn't have any. They didn't have enough. They only had enough materials for one more bomb after the second one.
Yeah, well,
So they were
and
like-
that's explained during the movie. I mean, they were like having trouble. It took them even longer to just build the bomb because they were just waiting on all of the necessary like supplies for it, or like minerals or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder what takes so long.
I think it's just hard to like mine. I don't.
How many countries are capping about their nukes? How many have the nuclear bomb, but they ain't got the uranium inside of it to make it happen?
All right. Yeah. I don't know.
Because I have heard there's some countries in, like maybe, I think it was a Middle Eastern country, they had nuclear power, air quotes, then turned to find out they didn't have any. They didn't have the means to launch the missile. Like they might have had the missile, but there's no way they could have gotten off the ground.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, but you don't really have nuclear power. You got the materials and you got the bomb, but you can't get it up.
Yeah.
So I wonder how many countries there are. Yeah, that's just, I'm curious. There's so much shady shit in the world that we don't have control of, bro. It kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. You just gotta accept it.
Don't think about it.
Go day by day. Go watch a movie.
Go watch Oppenheimer.
Or one thing that Oppenheimer, I was saying this in the car, one thing that it makes me want to do, I want to go camping. They were camping in New Mexico. Just, it was Oppenheimer, his little brother, and like what, I guess like the principal of his college, the dean.
Is that who that was?
I think so. And they're just in this teeny tiny tent with a fire outside, and they're just passing the whiskey bottle around.
Passing the bottle.
I was like, damn, that's a vibe. Like, I can't believe this guy's about to just go build a fucking bomb after this. Like, why don't you just chill out in this desert, man? That looks fun.
Can't. He's obsessed.
He just had the visions. Especially because it didn't help that one guy was taking a piss and he was looking at the stars, and he was like, I'm looking for that exploding star. Oppenheimer's like, you fucking idiot. Like, if it's exploded, you're not going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah. So camping, Oppenheimer. We're going to bring back the hat. The Oppenheimer hat just looks so sick on him. Like, I think I could pull it off too. So we might give this a shot.
Oppenheimer hats?
Oppenheimer hats. We're probably going to start seeing more of those, which I think is a great thing. I think they look awesome. And I definitely think they need to make a return.
There we go. You got anything else to say? I think I'm good.
Nope, I'm dog shit tired, and I got a dog to go take care of.
All right, let's wrap it up. If you want to support the show, you can see me and Gray wearing some Crown Cinema shirts. If you go to crowncinema.com, you can get yourself some shirts if you want. We got a hat, we got 3 shirts, and we have more on the way. We'll be making new shirts, dropping them every once in a while. So if you want to support me and Gray on this endeavor, maybe get us some better podcast equipment.
Yeah,
buy
new light. We can use new light now. Yeah.
Couple shirts, buy us a new light. That would be very appreciated. But appreciate y'all listening, and we're out.